And one thing where we go wrong is sometimes we want someone else to give us the platform. A lot of these artists are waiting to be, you know, reached out to by the BBC or something like that. Even me, you know, it's like we're waiting for other people to recognize us, and it's like, why can't we recognize us?
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Thank you for tuning in to Kasi Podcast. We welcome you all. Episode 20, we're back. We have another very special guest with us today. We've got Abby with us today.
Hi.
How are you, Abby? You okay?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for being here with us.
Thank you for having me.
So, I was thinking about where I would start, but you know what? I would just ask you how you are, how you've been for the past, however far back you want to go. You can go back to how you've been since 2010. You can go back since the start of lockdown. You can go back to 2 months ago. How have you been? I'll give you that freedom.
That too much freedom.
I'm
like, where do I start? Well, let's go back to this morning.
Good. Nice. That's a good start.
Yeah, I've been good. Obviously, like, I've had a lot going on.
Mm-hmm.
So recently I've just kind of I've like taken a step back and just relaxing. And
I assume we're not talking about this morning. We're talking about...
No, yeah,
okay,
now,
cool. Okay,
yeah,
cool.
now we're just talking about...
Yeah, in general. Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
But yeah, like, I've just been, you know, chilling and stuff, and like getting back in tune with myself, and yeah, getting back into the flow of things.
Good. So, for a bit of backstory, a bit of context, I was invited to a... It was relayed to me as an open mic night. And I'd been to maybe one open mic night before, a couple before, but I haven't gone to enough, and I wanted to go to more. So, person invited me, I was like, I'm down. Why not? So, we went, found a place, got up in the place. I was like, oh damn, this is like a spot. And the person who I went with, they're not British, they're not from London.
Oh, okay.
They're from America.
Oh.
So, and they've only been here for like 2 months. So I was like, listen, if you really want to know what London is, like, you came to the right spot.
Right.
They found it. They wanted to go to something and they found it and invited me. So I was like, yeah, you found the right spot. You want to like really understand London and get a feel of London, because it isn't what is relayed outside of the country. So yeah, I was in there. I was like, it's a little vibe. I realized how late we were because it was packed.
Yeah.
But now we was chilling. We got drinks, chilled. Some performances were already going on, and it was like this is a vibe. Like, we'll see how it goes. And then the night kept going, and as I do from time to time, I just, especially when I'm in a setting like that, environment like that, I would just sort of just slow down and just be sort of observe and scan everyone in the room.
Yeah.
And I was observing and scanning the room and thinking, like, this is an amazing put together. This is an amazing night. Just seeing like all these like just young black men and women, and going deeper into the night, there was some ridiculous performances. Ridiculous performances from singers and rappers and poets.
Yeah.
I think the second performance that I saw was, I think her name was Pearl Adams. Yeah. Oh my! I hadn't even got a seat at this point. I was standing up with my drink, and I was like, "Is this what we're on tonight?"
Right. Okay.
It was crazy, and she'll come on one day hopefully too. But yeah, I was just in a moment of like, this is amazing. Like, I'm thankful, I'm grateful. I've come here, I've experienced this. I want to go to more, because I've always felt like I want to go to more open mic events. But like, this was sort of what I was looking for with open mic nights, but without actually thinking about what am I looking for with open mic nights. That makes sense. So yeah, I'm seeing artists come through, amazing artists, just so much talent and soul. Everyone's just a good vibe. Everybody's got a smile on their face. Everyone's chilling. Everyone's having a drink. Everyone's relaxing, making jokes. You're meeting new people. You might be sitting next to someone you might start a conversation with. And I wasn't thinking about so a few people came on to talk, and then you had the little interval bits where you would have sort of fun games, the icebreakers and whatnot. And then at some point in the night, when I was already sold, I was like, yo, this is sick. I was chilling. You came on.
Yeah.
And you was talking about an event, and you was thanking everyone for being here, and you was, no, I think before you came on, someone else came on, and they were like, oh, let's give a round of applause to Abby.
Yeah.
And I was like, who's Abby?
Yeah.
And then I think somebody pointed you out, and I was like, okay, that's Abby, nice. And then you came on and you started talking, and I was like, oh crap, so this is her thing.
Yeah.
And then you had walked past me as you come off, and I was just like, in that moment when I'd realized this was you and this was your thing, I just thought to myself, I had to first just say, this is amazing what you put on, and two, I had to be like, yo, I have to bring you on here, because my whole thing for this, or I guess oriented, is that there's just stories that everyone's got a story, but stories that I particularly think would be amazing, that I want to hear, and I think other people would like to hear. I tried to get them on, so I just took that moment and thought, let me just say, I have a podcast, this is amazing, I would love to bring you on. And you said yes.
Cool. It was so, because obviously thank you, by the way, for your kind words, but obviously it's weird with RiffsNRhymes, because before the event comes,
RiffsNRhymes is called, the event called RiffsNRhymes.
But before it happens on the day, I'm numb. I don't even it's just getting it done, right? And obviously I have a whole team, and we're doing meetings, and I have to do things with the venue and stuff, so it's just very, and with this, it being so based on the people and the networking and all of that, it what do you kind of expect? There's nothing you can really expect, so I only know it's real until it happens, until I take time and I look around and people are talking and things are happening.
And that you started.
And that's when I'm like, wow, okay. But so coming off stage and speaking to people is always amazing for me, because some people don't know I run it. Some people,
because there's so many people just walking through, you would just never pick out, oh, this person, it's this person's thing.
Right, exactly. But that's not why I do it anyway. I just wanted to create a space. But so speaking to you, and then hearing what you do and everything, it was amazing. It was another surreal moment, wow, people are actually seeing this and they actually like it, and then now I'm here, and it's sick.
No, I think you're being here. So RiffsNRhymes, if we start from the beginning, how this came about, because I was assuming this is a little bit more than a hobby for you. This is something that you love, that is sort of a drive for you. And I always love to hear them stories from people, from guests, depending on whatever it is they do. So how did this come about? The whole thought of, let me start up an event where people can come and perform whatever they want to perform. How did it start up for you?
So firstly, obviously I'm a creative myself.
Okay.
So I act and sing.
Nice.
So
have you ever performed?
Yeah.
You didn't perform that time?
No. Oh. See, that's the thing. People are like, when are you gonna perform? I don't know. I don't.
So you never have you ever performed at RiffsNRhymes?
No.
You have to at some point.
Yeah, at some point. I know I will at some point. But right now I'm just focusing on, getting it out there, cool, and just creating that space. But so I'm a creative myself.
Right, yeah.
And the past couple years have been hard for me. Obviously with lockdown and stuff like that. at first it was great. Like I feel like that's how it was for everyone. Like the sun was shining and stuff, and like it was just like, you know, yes, a break from life, like
free time,
and it's like you're doing all these new things, and then then the dust settles.
Yeah, you have to start talking to yourself and
right.
thinking about me.
And it's just it gets harder, and obviously being a creative, you know, all you can do is like create. But obviously for creatives it was really hard because like all our platforms and what we needed, that physical touch in real time, was gone. And like that was hard for me because my main thing is I act, right?
Okay.
How am I gonna, you know, do this? It was like, you know, now, and with the acting industry as well, like self-tapes took a big rise, and it was now this is what I have to focus on. Yeah, it was really hard for me. And then I went to uni, which I don't go to uni anymore. I'm now in drama school.
Okay.
But yeah, uni was really difficult for me as well. Only because...
Did you go through that year?
So when lockdown started, I was in college.
Okay.
And then like probably second lockdown around then, that's when I was attending uni. But yeah, like that was difficult for me, just, you know, like finding my feet and stuff like that. And, you know, doing theatre at uni is obviously a bit difficult when you're doing it on Zoom, you know, you're doing like star jumps in your room and stuff. Like it was just crazy. So then like this year, I was in the car with my brother, and he was just like, why don't you like do something like
earlier this year?
Yeah. He was like, why don't you like do something, like create something, like, I don't know, like put on something, like, you know? And I was just like, I don't know, like, but I was really thinking about it, but I was like, I don't know. And he was like, well, you know, just think about it, like, you know, and I'm here. So like I went and I actually thought about, you know, like I feel like there are moments in life where like purpose starts to align. And for me, and one thing I always tell people is like, this is the first time with RiffsNRhymes that I felt, well, not the first time, like when I act, I feel it, but this is another time in a different space where I really felt purpose. So when he said that, I really felt purpose. Like I was like, okay. And then I just started like putting it together. And then he was like, and then we spoke again, and it was like, okay, open mic. That was the first kind of idea, an open mic. And I was like, but I don't really want to do a show. I don't want to do a show. Like,
is it classed as a show?
I wouldn't say it's a show.
I wouldn't imagine it as a show.
No, it's not. That's one thing that we always try to, in our team meetings and everything, that's what I'm like, this is not a show. But yeah, I didn't want it to be a show. I didn't want it to be a place where people just come and watch people perform. So then it was like, how are we going to do this? So then I was like, I want to just create a space where creatives can feel inspired by each other, right? So then it was like networking. And then it was like, okay, we're going to make it an open mic networking event.
Because I did recognize as I was there was a big emphasis on people saying network, meet people, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And I was like, they really want people to...
Yeah, that was like, I've like drilled that into the team's head. Like, this is a networking event more than it is an open mic event, because what we want to do is we want to get people from all different talents, all different backgrounds, whatever, up on that stage, and then they come back.
Yeah.
And you can talk to the artist. Yeah. And there are producers in the audience.
Yeah.
And filmmakers in the audience, and singers, artists, rappers. Everyone's in the audience, because that's really what we, you know, wanted to do. So yeah, I started thinking about that. I started planning it out. I planned everything out. I wrote everything out. But this is all like when, like February, March? This was like, so we had our first event in August.
In August.
This was in like June.
Okay.
like when I took, my brain was on like my whole life. That summer became Riffs and Rhymes.
Yeah.
Like every day, every second, like that's all I was doing. And then I was like, okay, now I need to do this. I need to come up with it. I literally sat down with my best friend. I went to her house and we were like, okay, we need to write a list of everything we want to, like I want to do if we want to make this happen. I was like, okay, I need a team. I needed this. I needed this. I needed that. I first got my MD music director, who is a friend of mine, a very good friend of mine. And one thing about this where I knew it was going to happen is because obviously like I've grown up in the church. I'm in the church. Yeah. So finding musicians and finding people like that, not hard at all. So found him. I was like, please just sort out the musicians, whatever. And I obviously relayed my vision to him. Yeah. And like it was fine. Then like I made like a little like casting thing like just on my phone. Okay. And we're just like calling all actors, singers, rappers, email. That was my personal email as well. And then a lot of people like shared it around for me, which was like really interesting and like weird because I wasn't thinking anybody would. And then like we got a few artists and it was like, okay. So now it's like people are involved in this. Like we can't kind of let this go. And then we just got the ball rolling from there. And then finding the venue was a nightmare. Like it was crazy. It was getting closer to the day and we just didn't have a venue. And
has it always been at that place that the last one I went to? Okay,
yeah,
cool.
It's always been there. And then my friend was just like, oh wait, like I work at this place, like
took you long enough.
I was like, well, would you look at that? Bit late. No, but yeah. So she was like, yeah, I work at this place or whatever. So I was like, okay, like what's their thing, whatever. Got in contact with them. They were amazing. They were like, this is exactly what we want here. They've been so amazing. It was so great. And then next thing you know, the first Riffs and Rhymes happened. And it was just, it blew my expectations. I wasn't expecting those people, like I wasn't expecting like the amount of people that came to come. I wasn't expecting it to be such, you were in there. The way people are and the way everyone just wants to talk to everyone. And it's just so like, it's literally a love fest. And like, that's exactly what I wanted. And like, yeah, that's how it started, really.
I don't know what the formula. Well, I don't know what the formula is, but there is something about putting a group of people in a place, in a room, who are sort of. Well, the fact that you've all come here to this place sort of says that there is something that you're looking for or you're interested in.
Right. Yeah.
So the fact that you're putting all these people in a room that they know what they can expect, what they know what they're coming to expect, and it's the similar expectations from everyone.
Yeah,
everybody's sort of on the same sort of level and the same vibe of what they want and what they're looking for.
Exactly.
And then the rest is just, it just happens because of how we are built. Like people love that sort of interaction with someone who loves what you like. You both experience the same thing.
Yeah.
So if someone that you both just watched perform and you think they was amazing, and you can talk about that and connect on that and what they were saying.
Exactly.
Someone who just performed and then you've come off and then you've had someone else come on who just performed and then you can talk to that performer about what you just did.
It's crazy, and I feel like I needed it. There was no, like, after lockdown, there was nothing like that out there. I wanted to go to this kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I just put it on. And the way people want to perform, the amount of emails and artists we get every day, it's crazy. People really want this. And even just the people attending for networking, people really want this, and they want to go to a space like that, because I did. And I feel like it is important to just put us in a space where like we can just feel like, yeah, everyone here gets it. And like, my friend went to a talent show the other day and she said to me, she was like, it was really good, but there's just something about Riffs and Rhymes. And I was like, what? And she was just like, you know, it's being in a room of people that just get it. Like when an artist, I don't know, like when they're on stage and like they're going off, you can just see everyone like, you know, like that stank face, and like you're looking at someone, you're like, yeah, because everyone just gets it and everyone just like, you know, enjoys it. And I feel like
I did that stank face a couple times.
Do you know what I mean? That stank face. So it's like, you know, sometimes like I feel like creatives go into spaces and like you don't know like how to be, but like when you put us all in a room, it doesn't matter, you know, how, you know, and that's another thing I was kind of worried about, because obviously like I've grown up in like, you know, like I went to a predominantly Black primary school, secondary school, and like I've obviously grown up in those kind of areas, but then obviously like going to college and stuff, like I went to quite like a diverse college, which was kind of different. So like I've met people from different ends of the spectrum, obviously, and going to drama school as well. Like I've met people from like different ends of the spectrum completely. So promoting it on my side, it was like, I know I'm going to get this type of person and I know I'm going to get this type of person. I'm like, how are they going to interact? But the thing is with creatives, it really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where you're from. It doesn't matter what background. We all just get it. And I think that's the beauty of Riffs and Rhymes, that you can be anyone.
Even there's a word you said about you said it was inspiring, like it's like it's inspiring for other creatives. I was there like super inspired. I'm not even like creative like singing or acting or anything like that, but
but this is
I
like
was like mad, to an extent, but even that, listening to some of the people perform, I was just like crazy. And even like another thing that I loved about it was the platform that you're giving people, especially people who are like us or from where we're from. There's not many platforms that you see out there that are publicized, that are out there for us to go on. There was some BBC show, Crypticon started, that is something like that. There aren't really that many that I can think of. So that's what another thing that I saw that you was doing, like you was giving, well, whatever you've created has given, you know, young people with, and there's a couple people there that I think they might have been on their own, and they probably came in a couple of times before they really performed, just to see the vibe, and then they just muster up that courage to go and do it,
like,
and then after 30 seconds you just see them fly, you know. But no, that's also something I love. You gave people a platform to just express themselves, and you gave them the green light to, you know, to feel, whether they're performers or people listening.
Exactly.
It is one of the things that I love about podcasting, is that I give people the platform to come and talk about the things that they do and what they love.
It's an amazing feeling.
It is, and especially because everybody has something, but for some reason we sometimes have this feeling of what I have to share isn't good enough, or nobody wants to hear it, or just you're just very, you know, insecure about it, as you should be, because it's your own stuff.
And one thing where we go wrong is sometimes we want someone else to give us the platform. A lot of these artists are waiting to be, you know, reached out to by the BBC or something like that. Even me, you know, it's like we're waiting for other people to recognize us, and it's like, why can't we recognize us? Like, why can't we put on things for each other? Like, Riffs and Rhymes is becoming bigger because our last one was packed out. The first one before was full, but it wasn't nowhere near as much people as this one. And it's like, it's getting bigger, but it's getting bigger because of us. We are pushing Riffs and Rhymes. Word of mouth is pushing Riffs and Rhymes. We're not, there's no ad on ITV or BBC. Nothing out to those brands. Love you guys. But, you know,
it's good save.
I'm like, for the future. No, but you know, like nothing against them, but like we can push ourselves because there is power in the people at the end of the day.
There is, and it is a thing of sort of understanding that and recognizing it. Because there is this sort of infectious feeling, especially from the communities that we're from, of that. I think to a large extent, not every sort of example, but to a large extent, there is this feeling of, you know, it's not the best feeling. It's a jealousy. There's a jealousy factor involved when someone else from your environment, from your community, from your hood is going out and doing something that you would like to do, or not even something you like to do, just the fact that they have gone out and are on a journey that, and you're not really too sure where you are, which is to an extent a human thing too. But it's something I've recognized a lot within it. There's an artist that I love that has a lyric, and he calls that feeling like crabs in a barrel. Kano.
Oh.
Yeah. He's got that feeling. He's got a line there. He says, you know, I forgot the line is now, but it was something to do
your
with
favorite artist.
Yeah, I know.
But
awkward.
You forgot the line.
Yeah. But it was something like that. And basically he used that analogy for it, like crabs in a barrel. Like every time someone's almost on the way out or doing something that they love, everyone else will be quick to try and drag them down, pull them down, or just make it harder for them.
Yeah.
And really, it was sometimes them from a feeling of, oh, they've got it, they've got their thing, when you haven't got your thing yet.
Yeah.
But Riffs and Rhymes is great. Why Riffs and Rhymes?
Why the name?
Why the name?
So, the name was one of the last things.
Okay.
To come out. I was like stuck on the name for so long, and then like I told my brother, I was like, I cannot figure out a name for this thing. And then he was just like, okay, whatever. Like, you know, it can be called anything, right? I was like, okay. And then like 5 minutes later, he calls me again and he's like, I've got the name. You're not gonna, this name is I was like,
that's something I would do as well. And then say some silly name.
Right. I was like, what? Like, and he was like, RiffsNRhymes. And I was like, oh, okay. Right. No, that's actually really good. So that's literally how the name came about, my brother. But it's so funny because I've got riffs and riddles, riffs and rhythms. Like, it's so funny. Like, I think even some artists will like come on the day because like they come like an hour earlier and they're like, yeah, I'm here for riffs and rhythms. And I'm like, riffs and rhymes. But
how do you even get that wrong?
I don't know. I feel like there were just...
It clearly says riffs and rhymes. But
yeah, but...
So, no, something that you surprised me with, I didn't know. You also act and sing.
Mm-hmm. Don't ask me to sing.
I'm not gonna ask you.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't do that.
Okay.
No, I wouldn't do that. But that's like, and it of course is to some extent makes sense. Why, like you explain why.
Yeah.
Something like this would be amazing for you. How was that journey? Like drama school?
Yeah, it's really so. I go to Identity School of Acting, and they are amazing. I love that school. But I think the journey when it comes to acting is crazy because there are so many different routes, and there are so many different appeals as well when it comes to the career and the industry. There's acting and then there's the acting industry. And it can be very hard to navigate. And sometimes it can be hard to kind of focus on, you know, like where you want to go and what you want to do. For me, like I've done like mostly theater.
Sick.
But I'd love to do film as well.
Is that the end goal? Not end goal, but is that a big goal, like a target?
I think for me and
or do you love theatre?
I don't think either of them is necessarily a goal.
Yeah.
I think when it comes to me and acting, my goals are just to reach a place where I'm comfortable and confident in what I'm doing, and I'm telling stories that I believe in and that are honest to me. That's where I want to go when it comes to acting. I feel like I would always want to dibble in theatre and film. Like I know a lot of actors that do that as well. Like, because it's different gratification.
I imagine.
Yeah, like with theatre, it's instant. Like you get that round of applause, you get that laughter, you know, you put in 12 weeks of rehearsals or like 6 weeks of rehearsals, and then you go show back to back to back to back to back for like a month. And, you know, every show is different.
Have you experienced that kind of sort of work yet?
So I haven't experienced like month-long shows. Yeah. I've only experienced like shows for like a couple days and stuff, because I've done like college productions and stuff. But yeah, that's where that kind of comes from. But with film, you film what you're doing. This could be over 3 months or something like that. And then you have this long waiting period, and then it comes out. And that's where you kind of get your, you know, feedback. So it is very different. And I love acting, and they're just different kinds of acting. So I love both of them, and I would really want to do both of them. But the journey is difficult, but I think it's just about, with acting, I feel like it's just about staying true to yourself and understanding who you are, because once you understand who you are, you know who to bring to these characters. Because I feel like one common misconception with acting is that you need this crazy ability to become a person. But what I've kind of realized in my own practice is it's not necessarily trying to transform yourself to become one character. I think it's more of seeing what bits of yourself and digging in yourself and what you've experienced and what you've gone through to bring to these characters. Because at the end of the day, when it's you and it's another person and there's one role, what it comes down to is who as a person is right for the role. Not who can transform to be that person. Do you know what I mean? So I think just becoming truthful to myself and being able to imagine myself in any experience to the best of my ability is what the journey is about for me. And like that's where I hope to be one day.
And it's interesting you mention or say that there's a lot of power in knowing yourself before you take on a role. And I imagine and believe that is the root of anything that you are going to do in life.
100%.
I don't think if I didn't necessarily even know myself, I don't even know how I would be able to construct a conversation with someone else about things that they do. There is just a sort of a map and navigation that you can get from knowing yourself and going into what you want to do, whatever it may be. So how hard was that journey? Because I don't imagine acting and the acting industry and singing as well, I don't imagine any of that helps the process, because you're sort of, the way like media and society does anyway, you're sort of told, and not told, but you're sort of, they give you a route or a way to be, to this is how it's supposed to be done to get to where you want to be. And that can sometimes be different to what you actually feel or want to be, or how you act. So how was that whole journey of?
First of all, forget what anybody else wants me to be. Because I think with knowing yourself or becoming yourself, you're never fully gonna know. I feel like I'm never fully gonna know myself. I'm only ever gonna fully understand myself because I change every day.
Interesting.
And I experience things every single day. I experience something new every single day, whether that's something as small as being stung by a bee for the first time. That's a new experience, and I change from that, you know? So I think it's about coming to a place of understanding yourself. But for me personally, that journey starts with God. For me, it's like, I don't know where I would be without God, and without, you know, understanding that. I feel like that's where my comfort comes from, because even when
imagine.
I'm not okay, I know that I'm meant to be here if I'm
where
here.
you're supposed to be.
And I'm where I'm supposed to be. So it's like, it's understanding him and understanding God and just understanding this universe and the world, and just understanding that I'm just only a little speck in it. You know, like, one thing I always think about, is I just think like, I'm literally nothing. Like, this world is so big and I'm only like one little speck on this earth. And it's like, things need to be done in the world. There's a plan for the world. So it's like, every idea that comes in your head, everything you want to do isn't yours. That's how I see it. Like, the idea of RiffsNRhymes, right? I could have got the idea and just not done it. The fact is, it would have been done by someone else, because RiffsNRhymes needs to happen for the world, not for me, not for, do you know what I mean? It needs to be there. So whether you're going to be the person to do it is a completely different thing. That confidence in knowing that things need to happen with or without me, that's a big part of where I get my comfort and my confidence. And I don't know if I'll like fully ever, you know myself or like whatever, but I'm confident in myself, and I feel joy in knowing that joy comes in the morning, and I'm just living now, and you only live life once. And like, I don't know if I'll ever fully know myself, but I think it's about experiencing things and understanding yourself. And that's one thing I know for sure, is I understand myself, and I know why I do things, and you know who I am.
Aware,
I'm aware. I know who I am. It's just, I change every day. So it's a constant journey. It's not just something that you just...
So I was gonna say, that's the first and one of the most important things, is understanding that this is a journey. And there isn't necessarily a answer, and there isn't necessarily an answer. You know, it's not like 1 + 1 = 2. It's something, understanding that it's something you're going to have to deal with and battle with and think about for a very long time before you get anywhere close to the answer. But it is an interesting twist you put on it, with, you know, you may never know yourself, but you can always understand yourself. And it is something that it is just so, before you do anything in life, like, that should be one of the biggest and hardest journeys that you should take and you should be on. And it only makes sense that you are on it and you have a level understanding of yourself with everything that you're doing. To start RiffsNRhymes, someone who starts something like that, the way it's being produced, the way it runs, especially the one that I was at, no one who has brought this about gets to it by not going through that journey that you were just saying you've gone through. So no, I just thank you, and thank you for your journey. It was an amazing event, RiffsNRhymes. I was definitely leaving, and I as well not knowing, well, I might have anyway, because that's just how I try to interact. But I left with networking with a couple of people, you being one, of course.
Yeah.
So, and I understood the value of it and the pressure that you was putting on people to come and network, you know, which it may have already happened anyway because you're in this sort of environment, but you just actually putting out it to people and sort of reaffirming to them that it is okay. Go talk to some random person.
Pressed on it.
Yeah, right. You did press on it.
Yeah.
And I thought, no, that's cool because it does add a sense of comfort to people that, you know, you're actually being told by the people who are running this. Go and chat to someone and, you know, start a conversation. So it's cool. When's the next one?
The next Riffs and Rhymes. So the next Riffs and Rhymes is happening next year.
Next year.
Yeah, we want to keep it frequent, but we want a bit of a longer gap between this one because
you've done 3 already, or
we've done 2.
2.
Yeah, so that would be the 3rd one.
Okay.
It is going to be at the beginning of the year though. But yeah, we're trying to launch something else.
Okay.
Which is gonna be launched. It's gonna be launched when this comes out.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah, on that weekend.
Yeah.
But yeah, so once that's launched, then, you know, Riffs and Rhymes, the 3rd Riffs and Rhymes will happen.
Okay.
But
everyone's got something to look forward to.
Yes.
Please let people know where to like find you, where to find Riffs and Rhymes, how to get in touch.
My Instagram is _Abigail Sam, and the Riffs and Rhymes Instagram is at RiffsNRhymes. So that's RiffsN Rhymes.
Okay.
And yeah, the email and the Riffs and Rhymes email and everything is all there.
Yeah, everyone, like, you heard it, as you are watching this, go on your phone right now, type it in. There is news.
Yes, news is coming.
There is news. Listen, if you're an artist, if an artist in every sense of the word, you sing, you rap, you do poetry, spoken word, hit them up, you know, like
actresses as well. We have something coming for you guys.
Right, hit them up, hit Riffs and Rhymes up. If you're someone who just appreciates the art of it, and you just want to be in a positive, strong sort of young black environment,
yes.
Then no, definitely hit up Riffs and Rhymes. Come to an event. I definitely would come to another one.
Yay.
That's why I'm looking forward. That's why I was wondering where the next one was. But all right, I thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
It's cool. I thank you for joining us. It was a really cool chat. But yes, I would let everyone be. Have a good morning. Have a good day. Have a good night. Stay safe. Stay sweet. Stay street.
AVM Production.